Hello and welcome to the latest update of the sugarcane rainfall outlook for the Southern Queensland District. In this issue, we will look into how the Access S model verified for rainfall over July before covering August rainfall to date. We'll then cover short-term weather watch points before seeing what the Access S and other international model rainfall outlooks have in store over the coming months. Starting here with the Access S model performance over the month of July. On the left, we have the observed rainfall for July. In the middle panel, that rainfall converted to percentiles. And on the right, we have the Access S July outlook issued on the 15th of June with the accompanying skill map. We can see that the forecast for July previously had high skill of around 65 to 75% accuracy and was forecasting a low chance in the 30 to 45% range of exceeding the July median rainfall around the Maryborough, Isis and Bundaberg growing regions, and neutral odds around 45 to 55% around the Sunshine Coast region. As evident by the white to bluer shade dots in the middle image, indicating near to slightly above average rainfall for the month, the forecast hasn't verified very well across most locations. It has been a dry month with August rainfall to date well below what we'd expect for the month, most notably across the Bundaberg, Maryborough and Isis growing regions, where the monthly rainfall totals to date are in the lowest 20% of the climatological mean, with roughly 5 to 20 millimetres falling broadly across this region so far. However, some isolated locations along the coastal fringe and around the Sunshine Coast did see 60 to 80% of their monthly rainfall, so conditions were closer to average in these areas. Here we have a model comparison of the 7-day rainfall accumulations from 10 p.m. Thursday the 31st of August to 10 p.m. Thursday the 7th of September. We can see from the different amounts of rain the European and the Australian Access GE short-term models are forecasting that there is a high level of uncertainty around the forecast, particularly inland of the Sunshine Coast. An upper trough coupled with a surface trough will move over the region during Thursday, bringing a shower or two and isolated thunderstorms, before moving offshore on Friday. There is a risk some thunderstorms may become severe, with the potential to bring large hail and damaging wind gusts, particularly around the Sunshine Coast region. The nature of thunderstorms does mean that some locations will observe more rainfall than others, and often models have trouble resolving rainfall amounts in these events due to limitations around model resolution. Conditions from Friday are expected to remain mostly dry as a high-pressure ridge becomes the dominant feature, with the exception of the odd shower over the weekend with increasing easterly winds expected. Another trough will see showers increasing into Monday or Tuesday next week. However, there is a high degree of uncertainty in the guidance about the strength of this system, so keep an eye on the forecast over the weekend to stay up to date with the latest information. Overall, we're not expecting significant amounts of rainfall over the next week, with most locations expecting less than 5 millimetres. However, isolated higher falls in the range of 10 to 20 millimetres are possible, particularly with thunderstorms. Here we're looking at the Access S model forecast chance of exceeding 25 millimetres of rainfall over the week starting the 3rd of September on the left and the 10th of September on the right. You can access these maps from the BOM Climate Outlooks page and choose from a number of thresholds, with the model data being updated daily. Looking at week 1, the forecast is indicating a 10 to 25% chance of exceeding 25 millimetres anywhere south of Maryborough, including the Sunshine Coast, with odds lowering to less than 10% for areas north of Maryborough. As mentioned in the previous slide, there is moderate to high uncertainty in the rainfall forecast early next week. So this is one to watch to see which way things are trending over the coming days. As we head into week 2, most areas are seeing odds dropping to less than 10% chance of exceeding 25 millimetres. Moving on to the month of September, and we're looking at low odds of 30 to 35% chance of exceeding the median September rainfall through the Bundaberg and Isis regions, and a 35 to 45% chance of exceeding median rainfall about the Maryborough and Sunshine Coast growing regions. The model skill during September is high across southern Queensland, with 65 to 75% accuracy in the past for the month, which boosts our confidence in this forecast. This means rainfall amounts slightly lower than the historical median for the month is more likely, as we can see by comparing the 50% chance of at least map on the left with the historical median map on the right. For areas south of Maryborough and around Bundaberg, rainfall amounts are expected to be well below average throughout September. Breaking the rainfall odds down further for September, with the high or 75% chance of receiving at least values on the left and the lower or 25% chance of receiving at least values on the right, gives us an idea of the potential rainfall spread for the month. Eyeballing the maps, we can expect rainfall totals to be higher about the Sunshine Coast, with 10 to 25 millimetres possible for the month. Most other growing regions can expect around 1 to 10 millimetres during September. We saw earlier that Access S did not perform very well during the month of July, so how confident can we be with our dry September outlook? Here we will take a look at the September rainfall outlook of other international climate models from the US, Italy, Germany, Canada, Europe, Japan, the UK and France. The colour scheme here is slightly different, representing terciles, so the rainfall is partitioned into thirds, with rainfall amounts in the yellow and brown colours representing forecast rainfall in the lower third, so a drier forecast, white colours indicating rainfall in the middle tercile, so close to median, and the green and blue colours indicating rainfall forecasts in the upper tercile, so wetter or above median rainfall. All international model outlooks are falling within the middle or slightly lower tercile, indicating median to slightly drier conditions across the southern growing region, so we can have good confidence in our drier outlook from the Access S model. Further to this, here's the consensus forecast of all the international models. Taking the average of all the models shows near median to slightly below median rainfall along the southern growing region, a very similar pattern to the Access S model. And looking ahead to the longer term October to December rainfall outlook from the Access S model, the model has high skill at this time of the year for the Bundaberg and Sunshine Coast growing regions with 65 to 75% accuracy in the past, lowering to moderate to high skill with 55 to 65% past accuracy around the Maryborough growing region. We're seeing a pronounced dry signal, particularly Maryborough and North, with less than 40% chance of exceeding the median rainfall through the region, decreasing to less than 35% further north for the Bundaberg and Isis growing areas. A slightly dry outlook also for the Sunshine Coast region, with a 40 to 45% chance of exceeding median rainfall across the outlook period. And once again, looking at the international model outlooks for the October to December time period, we can see that there is a strong dry signal across the southern growing region across most models, with the US or NCEP model leaning towards a more neutral signal, and that collaborates well with what we are seeing in the Access S outlook. Taking the consensus forecast of all the international models for the longer term outlook, the average of them shows slightly below median rainfall along the southern growing region, consolidating our confidence in the Access S drier outlook. That's it for this update. As always, check the latest forecast and warning on the Bureau's website or the BOM weather app, and please send any feedback through to agriculture@bom.gov.au or complete the survey using the QR code or link. We'd love to hear from you about ways we might improve the service. See you next Outlook. Thanks for listening.